Greetings, and allow me to introduce myself. I am the Missing Blueprint. Now, I want you to travel with me back to the year 1995, when the WWE was still known as the WWF. I recently purchased a copy of Raw, the Best of Seasons 1 and 2. I would recommend this DVD for anybody who is a classic old school wrestling fan like I am. I gotta say, after I got done watching that DVD, I started contemplating a little bit. You know, the WWF did a series of In Your House shows, so I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is start reviewing some of the old In Your House shows that the WWF put out back in the '95, all the way into all the way into the Attitude Era. So anyway, the first show is just called WWF In Your House, and you know, this pay-per-view was alright. I guess I could rate this pay-per-view a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, it was okay. There was like maybe one or two matches that I would recommend for maybe people to check out if they're interested. But anyway, the show started out alright, I guess. The opening were just two Dark House matches, and you had the first match was Undertaker versus Kama from the $1 Million Corporation. This was okay. It was just basically two big guys going at it. I'm not a huge fan of two big guys just going at it and not showing a lot of great wrestling ability. Don't get me wrong, Undertaker has really good wrestling ability, but it's all about who he's matched up with, and this just wasn't his match at all. Kama was just throwing a lot of kicks and punches, and it was just kind of like the same routine over and over. And they kept trying to play over the gimmick like the urn was melted down into like a gold chain that Kama had melted down, but somehow I don't think Undertaker was really playing off that gimmick really well, and it just looked kind of silly, really, in my opinion. And it was just, I don't know. The match was alright. It could have been a better opener. But anyway, I gave that match 2 stars. Second match was Tatanka from the $1 Million Corporation versus Bam Bigelow. Now, I gotta say, I really like this match. I think they should have opened up with this match because I really enjoy watching Bam Bigelow. He's a really big guy, and you wouldn't think much of him, but he actually has got a lot of athleticism for a big guy. And you know, it was smart booking to book this match between these two, and these two had a little rivalry going around that time. Bam Bam was kicked out of the $1 Million Corporation. I kind of would have liked to have seen it going on a little longer, but you know, pretty good match for me it was, and you know, a lot of back and forth action between Tatanka and Bam Bam, a couple of near falls, and that finish was what really. I thought the finish was great, the way Bam Bam pulled it off in the end. But you know, like it was really cool how Bam Bam finished the match. Honestly, it was a good match for me, so I gave it about 3 stars. And then you had the opening of the pay-per-view, which was Bret Hart versus Hakushi. This match, wow. This match was really good. You know, I can honestly say Bret Hart could just pick up a mop right now and just wrestle with that and still make it look a good match. But Hakushi has really good wrestling ability. A lot of near falls, a lot of back and forth action between both of these guys. This is really probably the best match of the whole entire show right here. So anyway, I would recommend anybody checking this match out if you care to see it. I gave it about 4.5 stars. It was really good. The next match we had was the Handicap Match. Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie versus Razor Ramon. Okay. The Handicap Match, you know, it was okay. I mean, it was just, you know, for it being the first handicap match in the WWF at the time, it was pretty good. But to me, it gave me a feeling like it almost gave me kind of like a feeling of almost like a John Cena ending, you know, where John Cena's getting the crap beat out of him, and then all of a sudden he just pulls an attitude adjustment out of nowhere and then gets the win. That's how this match kind of was. It was like Razor Ramon was getting beat up, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, there's the Razor's Edge. Bam! 1, 2, 3. It was over. And, you know, I was like, okay, that's good. It was all right. It wasn't that great. I mean, it was good, but not great. And, but then it got really stupid towards the end. The ending was really, really bad. Like, after the match was over, Roadie and Jeff Jarrett proceeded to beat up Razor Ramon and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, Aldo Montoya, out of all people, comes running down the aisle and starts interfering in, starts trying to help Razor Ramon or whatever. And, oh, God, probably one of the worst jobbers ever. But anyway, they got rid of him quickly. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes a guy in like a flannel shirt and black pants and starts beating the crap out of Jeff Jarrett and Roadie. And everybody in the crowd was wondering who this guy was. And it turns out it was Savio Vega making his debut. I just thought that was just kind of stupid, in my opinion. If they were going to have Savio Vega debut, they should have made him debut in like a match or something and build him up a little better. It just made Savio Vega look bad. Bad ending for the match for me. I was going to give it like a 3.5, but I could only go with 3 stars. I mean, really, or I may even change it at maybe 2 or 3/4. You know, I didn't like it. Anyway, moving on. 5th match was King of the Ring qualifying match, and it was between Mabel and Adam. This was Mabel and Adam Bomb. This was it was just basically a squash match, really. Adam Bomb was just trying to take down Mabel. It was just kind of another big guy match, your typical big guy match, and it didn't go on long, thank God. So, but it was probably easily one of the worst match of the night. And you know, Mabel picks up the win. Whoop-de-doo. Mabel goes on to the King of the Ring. Anyway, next match. That was a 1.5 stars, by the way. Next match was for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Owen, Hart, and Yokozuna defending their titles against Smoking Guns. I gotta say, for me, this match was they stepped it a little bit above from their WrestleMania 11 match, but it still just wasn't saying much at all. I mean, because the finish just kind of came out of nowhere abruptly. It was like, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was either Bart or Billy Gunn. I think it was Bart. I think it was Bart Gunn that fell out of the ring, and Yokozuna dropped the leg drop on him outside of the ring, and you know, and then they rolled Bart back in, and then Owen picks up the win. And you know, I just thought it made Bart look ridiculous and weak. And you know, I've seen plenty of times where Yokozuna hit the leg drop on somebody, and they either, you know, kicked out of the pin, or they just kept on going throughout the match. I don't know. I didn't like the ending, but they did pick up the pace a little bit more in this one. So I don't know. I gave them some credit for that, but I gave it about, I don't know, 2 3/4 stars. It was okay. Next match was Bret Hart versus Jerry the King Lawler. You know, it was basically Jerry Lawler getting his butt whooped the whole entire time by Bret Hart. Jerry was not getting any offense in whatsoever, and then out of nowhere, I can't remember if the referee got distracted or he fell down, got knocked out, something like that. And then Hakushi comes out of nowhere and attacks Bret Hart. And I believe there was like one moment where like the referee may have saw Hakushi in the ring. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? The referee is actually seeing Hakushi interfering. This is going to be a disqualification. But no, maybe my eyes were deceiving me, but it kind of looked like that. But then Hakushi left and Jerry Lawler got the pin. It was a stupid ending, and they eventually went on to have a Kiss My Foot match, and that was just even more ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, That match was 2 and 1, 4 stars for me. It was stupid. And next match was the WWF Championship match between Diesel, the champion, defending his title against Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, whatever the heck his name is. I really don't care. Sid is not a great wrestler to me. He's just really freakishly tall. I mean, that's basically what you got from this match. 2 tall guys trying to put on a good match together and doing a variation of same moves over and over. It was just repulsive. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to watch this match. Really, it was just not good. I did not enjoy it whatsoever. It eventually ended up in a DQ. Tatanka comes out and interferes, and then Bam Bam comes to Diesel's aid, and it was leading into the next pay-per-view. Basically, just kind of, I don't like endings like that. I mean, they need to just have a definite winner. It was almost like in a way, this pay-per-view was like almost watching like an episode of Monday Night Raw in a way, you know. Anyway, this pay-per-view was alright. I mean, I could say, like, maybe if you wanted to check out the Bret Hart and Hakushi match, I would greatly recommend it. And I guess Tatanka and Bam Bigelow, even though their time limit was like 7 or 8 minutes long, I mean, it just wasn't long at all. But honestly, this show was just not that good. I mean, other than those two matches I listed, and maybe the handicap match if you want to check that out, but I don't know, the ending might piss you off like it did me too. But anyway, that's it for my very first pay-per-view review of In Your House. I hope to be doing some more In Your House pay-per-view reviews soon, so check back in on this channel. I'm out.